Welcome back in the computer lecture series, learning computer with seeing the beautiful sights of beautiful and greeny sights of Indian village. And in this lecture, uh, I I would talk uh, some popular operating system. In this lecture, we know about some popular operating systems like MS-DOS, Unix, Linux, Windows NT, Microsoft Windows, Windows NT, etc. So let before starting, as usual, first we speak the name of God. राम श्री राम जय सीताराम जय बजरंगबली ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय. So the first operating system I would like to tell about is the Unix. So let's know about the Unix. Unix, it is a multi-user time-sharing operating system and developed by Ken Thompson and Dennis Ritchie. Early in 1970 at Bell Laboratories for PDP-11 computer. It was the first operating system written in a high-level language C. The earlier operating systems were written in assembly language, due to which they were system dependent. That is only on a that were usable only on a system for which they were developed. However, since Unix was written in C language, moving it to a new system known as porting it was much easier. This was an important reason for its popularity and availability on wide variety of systems. So let first see the this was an important reason for its popularity and availability on a wide variety of systems. Now see the structure of Unix. Unix operating system has the following three layers. That is, first one is kernel. This layer has all the modules for process, memory, file, device and security management. Next is shell. This layer has the command interpreter. Unix basically provides a command line interface, and some vendors have added graphical user interface to their new version of Unix. The shell provides a large number of very useful commands. Every command does a single, very specific task. To do larger, more complex tasks, user can easily combine several commands in the form of a shell script to produce the result they want. A user can even store a shell script in an executable file. When the user executes the file, it acts like a new shell command. And the third and last is the utilities. This layer has all the OS capability enhancement software, including language compilers, text editor, text processing programs, and a variety of utilities and tools. And over the years, this layer has grown to include several powerful tools which allows effective program development and system management. Because of this, many users refer to Unix as a complete programming environment, not just an operating system. Now, the next programming operating system is MS-DOS, and let's see about the know about the MS-DOS operating system. It stands for Microsoft Disk Operating System. It is a single user operating system for IBM and IBM compatible personal computers. Microsoft and IBM introduced it jointly in 1981, and it was the most popular operating system for personal computers in the 1980s era. Because of its popularity, Microsoft later took a decision to launch independently Microsoft Windows operating system in 1990. Now the structure of MS-DOS. MS-DOS also has the following three layers. First is BIOS, that is BIOS stands for Basic Input Output System. It contains device drivers for standard devices such as keyboard, disk, floppy printer and display monitor. It also contains basic low-level services such as time of day and system configuration analysis. With hardware dependent services in basic input output system, the operating system ensures that it can offer other high level operating system services in a hardware independent manner. This enables those operating system services to be portable easily to other machines. जय श्री राम, जय श्री राम, जय सीताराम, जय बजरंगबली. Generally, the BIOS is located in part in a ROM, which is a non-erasable memory. When a user switches on a computer, the computer's hardware transfer control to the bootstrap procedure for the BIOS in ROM. The bootstrap procedure carries out some hardware test to check whether the memory and the other devices are functioning properly. If the hardware test passes successfully, the bootstrap procedure loads into memory a small portion of the operating system from disk. This part of the operating system then loads the rest of the memory resident portions of the operating system into memory from disk. This step-by-step process of loading the operating system into memory is known as booting the system. The second layer is in the MS-DOS is kernel. This layer contains all the modules for process management, memory management and file management. These modules usually are machine independent, enabling their easy portability to other machines. And the third one layer is shell. And this layer has the command interpreter. It provides a command line interface. MS-DOS shell, known as command.com, has about 70 commands which are partitioned into two categories: internal commands and external commands. Internal commands are those which are always memory resident, whereas external commands are those which normally reside on disk. The operating system loads an external command into memory whenever a user executes it. Due to this, the operating system takes more time to execute an external command than an internal command. Later, the designer added a graphic user interface known as DOS shell to this layer, which was largely a menu-driven user interface. Here we see some of the shell commands to give an idea of what the shell commands look like and what they do. Here in this list we see both MS-DOS and Unix version. Normally, a command name signifies its task so that user can remember and use the commands easily. Moreover, note that the commands are usually short so that users have to type a few characters only to invoke a task. Most of these commands require argument. Now see these examples. For example, command name in MS-DOS is copy and in Unix it is cp, and its work is to copy a file. Now command name in MS-DOS is del or erase, and in Unix rm, and its work is delete, erase or remove a file. Similarly, in MS-DOS rename or ren, ren, and in Unix mv, rename or file or move it from its old name to new name. Command name in MS-DOS dir, dir, and in Unix ls, display directory listing. In MS-DOS, command name is mkdir or md, or in Unix mkdir, create make a new directory. In MS-DOS, type, and in Unix cat, display content of a file. Command name in MS-DOS is date, and in Unix also it is date, to display or change the current date. Command name in MS-DOS is rmdir, and in Unix rmdir, remove an empty directory. And command name in MS-DOS chdir or cd, in Unix cd, change the current working directory. So these are some command name used for MS-DOS and Unix. Now the next operating system in discussion is the Microsoft Windows. It was developed by Microsoft. It was developed by Microsoft to overcome the limitation of its own MS-DOS operating system. Windows 3.0 was the first successful version of this operating system and was released in 1990. Subsequently released versions were Windows 95, Windows 98, Windows 2000, Windows XP, Professional, Windows Vista, and Windows 7. The main features of Microsoft Windows are as follows. The features are like this. First, its native interface is a graphical user interface. Hence, for a new user, it is easier to learn and use a computer system. It is a single user multitasking operating system. That is, a user may run more than one program at a time. For example, while editing a file in a foreground, a user can run a sorting job in background. The user can partition the monitor's screen into multiple windows and can view the progress of different programs on different windows. It allows file names to contain up to 255 characters as well as some punctuation marks such as periods, commas, and semicolons. Microsoft Windows is not just an operating system but also a complete operating environment. All its programs conform to a standard way of working. For example, a Microsoft Windows word processor works similarly the way a Microsoft Windows spreadsheet or any other type of Windows program works. This means that if a user learns one Windows program, this experience is useful while using any other Microsoft Windows program. The Microsoft Windows became an operating system of choice for most personal computer users after 1990. Now by Microsoft Windows NT. Microsoft Windows NT is a multi-user time-sharing operating system developed by Microsoft, and it has a Unix-like features. It is suitable for use with powerful workstation networks and database servers. Like Unix, Linux, Windows NT and its subsequent versions have native support for networking and network services. We classify such operating system as network operating system, NOS, abbreviated as NOS. Its main features are unlike Unix, its native interface is graphical user interface. The look and feel of Microsoft Windows NT's graphical user interface is similar to that of Microsoft Windows GUI. It has built-in networking and communication features, hence it enables configuration of any computer with Microsoft Windows NT as a network client or server. It supports multi-programming and tasks take advantage of multiprocessing on system having multiple processors. It has a rich set of tools for software development and system administration. It provides a strict system security, and it can run Microsoft Windows application and many Unix applications directly. So these are the features of Microsoft NTs. Now let's see the Linux operating system and its features. Linux. It is an open source operating system, and thousands of programmers worldwide continuously enhance its features and back its development and support. It is a multitasking, multiprocessing operating system. Originally, its designer had targeted it for personal computers, but today it is popular on all types of systems. The name Linux is derived from its inventor Linus Torvalds. Torvalds was a student at the University of Helsinki, Finland in early 1990s when he wrote the first version of the Unix-like kernel as a toy project. He later posted the code on the internet and asked programmers across the world to help him build it into a working system. The result was Linux. Torvalds holds the copyright but permits free distribution of source code. That is, he oversees development of kernel. Torvald and his core team of kernel developers review the merit of adding it to kernel source code. Now Linux development process. Linux being an open source operating system, various parties participate in its development process. Various participants play the following key roles. The open source development community, that is programmers across the world, develops the source code for the operating system kernel and submits it to the core team of kernel developers headed by Torvalds. This team reviews the merit of adding a submitted change or feature in the kernel and incorporates it into the kernel if the team sees merits in doing so. This is how the kernel evolves and matures to become better day by day. Distribution companies package and sell various Linux versions. Application vendors and programmers download the freely available kernel and develop all types of application software for it. Hardware vendors bundle Linux on their system and supply their system along with Linux operating system and a set of application software. End users run Linux and applications to meet their processing needs. So these were some operating system which we have discussed in this lecture, and I think we have enjoyed this lecture very much. In this lecture we talk about some important operating system. So with this that is with this I like to end this lecture, and once again I like to tell सीताराम सीताराम, जय श्री राम, ओम नमः शिवाय, बजरंग बली की जय, एंड जय हनुमान जी की जय, हनुमान जी की जय।